Howdy folks, AJ coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer, and today's video is going to be gaming news. We've got a couple of biggies that have hit the presses in the last couple of days. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, start out. Number one, the bombshell that hit yesterday. It was announced that Sony Online Entertainment was bought out. It was sold off by Sony, and it was bought out by an investment company. The investment company is called Columbus Nova, and they are not a multimedia company. They're not a game company. They are an investment company, strictly an investment company. And don't know what that means for the future of the titles that used to be under Sony Online Entertainment. Investment companies a lot of times buy stuff, liquidate assets. I mean, it can get really ugly really fast. Now, of course, they could decide to actually invest and try and, make the new company that SOE is going to be. It's going to be now known as Daybreak Game Company, and it's going to be an independent game company, and it's going to be owned by this investment firm. So we'll have to see how things go. Now that I've settled that, now that the announcement's out there, and I'm looking at those of you, directly at you, that when I made my video, and I've made a few of them in the past, about being careful about pre-ordering games, and particularly about early access games. And I warned you, and I said we're going down a very dangerous path as far as consumers go, for consumers as gamers, gamers as consumers. Because we're getting to the point now where we are openly accepting works in progress after we've given our money. Instead of paying for a finished product and getting a finished product, we're actually encouraging them to continue to release games that are not finished. And now with this early access program, and Steam is partly to blame here because of their early access program. And yes, they do put all the caveats out there. They do put the disclaimers out there saying this is an early access game and everything else. But it just helps to promulgate the idea that, yeah, let's get the consumers to give us money while we're trying to finish a game, and there's no guarantee that we're even going to finish it. So now, here you have what used to be Sony Online Entertainment, which is now going to be Daybreak. They took here, what was it, January 15th, I think it was, so less than a month ago, they were taking people's money, $20, and then $40 for the premium edition of H1Z1. And I told everybody, I said, you're paying, for the privilege to beta test for them. You're actually helping them by your beta testing, and you're paying them to do it. And people, I got a lot of criticism on the videos that I did. People saying, well, it's an alpha and it's early access, and we want to help. We want to help support the development of the game. Okay, if this was a little independent game company, mom and pop trying to scratch and claw its way to the top and make a game, yes, I think that's a hell of an idea to say, you know what, I got $20 extra, I'm going to give you $20 because I believe in what you're doing. This was Sony Online Entertainment, which was owned by Sony, one of the largest corporations in the world, multi-billion-dollar corporation. It has now been bought out by a company called Columbus Nova, which is a $15 billion global company, investment company. Between those two companies, there's multiples and multiples and multiples of billions of dollars. And you guys each gave them $20 each, or $40 in some instances. Do you think they needed that to continue development of this game? Hell no. They just got a huge payday by being bought out. They just got a huge payday by this investment firm to buy out their company. And on top of that, they snatched all that money from all you consumers that decided, oh, we need to help support them. They are a huge company. They didn't need support. That was a cash grab, is what that was. That was just additional to buy another ivory back scratcher, for Smedley or whoever. The honest thing to do would have been to say, hey, we're in negotiation, or if they couldn't say that, they should have just, if they couldn't disclose they were in negotiations to be bought out, they should have waited until after the buyout and then release it on Steam and say, now we're going early access with H1Z1. It was deceptive and it was dishonest for them to take your money knowing that they were in the middle of a buyout and not knowing how that was going to go. Now, when I was complaining about the launch and the fact how horrible it was, the fact that the servers couldn't handle the traffic, everybody was coming back at me and saying, well, it's early access, early access. That had nothing to do with the game. The game, I had no problem saying, okay, it's an early access game. You want to pay your $20 and go in there and everything, and you have 1,000 bugs that you run into, that's fine. But the problem was you couldn't even get into the game. And that has nothing to do with the development cycle. That has to do with their servers allowing you access to the game. And they couldn't even do that. Okay? And they still took your money knowing they're getting ready to get a big payday, be bought out, and the whole bit. That's deceptive. And they've done it before. And anybody that played Star Wars Galaxies knows exactly what I'm talking about. There was the last expansion for Star Wars Galaxies, which was called Trials of Obi-Wan, was released. And not a couple of weeks later, it might have even been a week later, they completely revamped the game after they took all these pre-orders for all this pre-order money from these people, knowing that they were going to revamp it. And this is the only revamp. World of Warcraft's had revamps. All these other, big MMOs have had revamps. But that was the only one where they eliminated player classes. So imagine you played a rogue in World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft announces an expansion, takes pre-orders. A week later, it changes the entire outlook of the game, and it eliminates rogue as a class. You come back. You've pre-ordered your new expansion. You log in, and they didn't even tell anybody it was going to happen. You logged in and found out, holy shit, I was a creature handler, and there's no more creature handler. You had to pick a new class. This could be a character that you had maxed out and was your most beloved character, and that you were just new class. You had to pick a new class. Yeah, so imagine that, you World of Warcraft players out there, if they did that shit to you. Okay, that's what Sony did with Star Wars Galaxies. And people were, just going ape shit because here they had put their money out for a new expansion and then their class was eliminated. Okay, so this is not the first time that Sony has done this shit, where they knew that there was a major change in the operation coming up and they still took people's money without being open and honest about it. Okay, so it's not the first time, guys. Burn me once, shame on you. Burn me twice, shame on me. Okay, I've been burned by Sony before. I was one of those got burned by in Star Wars Galaxies fiasco. Okay, I didn't give them my $20 for H1Z1, nor will I. Okay, they just got bought by a $15 billion company. Let that company pay for their damn development. When the game is done, I might buy it if it looks good. Okay, do yourselves a favor. Quit pre-ordering games. Quit playing or paying for early access, especially when it's one of these big giant game companies. Okay? If it's a small mom and pop and you really believe in them and you want to truly help them and they need the help, and you would know it. You know it's a small independent game company. And you also know if it's EA, Sony, Blizzard, one of these big ass companies, you know the difference. Be smart with your money. Okay? Anyway, that's the first topic. Second topic. Not as big, but nevertheless, to some of us, it is very painful. The website massively.com, which covered all news for MMOs, for massive multiplayer online games, was the plug was pulled on it, along with the entire Joystiq Network. So WoW Insider, which was all about World of Warcraft, WoW Insider, Engadget, Massively, etc., etc. The whole shittery. AOL, who owned them. Yes, AOL apparently is still around. AOL pulled the plug on the whole thing, and today is the last day. So if you enjoyed any of those websites, WoW Insider, Engadget, Massively, any of them, today's the last day, and they're just gone. So that's a very sad thing to announce. But if you go to their individual pages, for those that I just mentioned, there are going to be links to the Twitter feeds for the people the writers that were at those individual sites. So if you want to continue to follow them, like I did, MJ from Massively, I'm following her on Twitter. There's actually a Twitter feed now for Massively, the crew that worked at Massively as a kind of a collective thing. So if you want to do that, you can go there and follow them as well. So anyway, guys, that's it for announcements, gaming news for me today. Catch you on the flip side, guys.